Hey guys, and there has been some unfortunate news for Nintendo as they are discontinuing the gold points for the My Nintendo Rewards program. It's really unfortunate because a lot of people have used this service to save money, and I mean, especially nowadays, it kind of sucks not having a way to save a little bit of money on games. I know it doesn't really seem like that much, but it can really help sometimes. Especially for smaller titles that you really don't want to have to shell out that much money for. But yeah, before we get started, I wanted to mention that I have the goal to hit 30,000 subscribers before the Switch 2 launches, so if you enjoy my content, consider subscribing, and if I hit that goal, I will give away a copy of the new Mario Kart game. But this is just a really weird decision in a lot of ways. Nintendo is just kind of pulling the plug on something that a lot of people have benefited from. And I mean, I guess you could look at it from a standpoint of Nintendo not wanting people to save too much money on games. But the thing is, it really wasn't that huge of a discount. It was only enough to where people would just be saving a little bit, because you really only get 1 cent per dollar with the value of these points for each game, because you get 60 points when you buy a $60 game. So it really is kind of fair and really doesn't seem like something that would be hurting Nintendo at all. I mean, it's kind of obvious Nintendo is doing the best that they ever have been during the Switch era, so there really isn't much reason to take that ability for people to just save a little bit of money away from them. It's just it really is kind of unnecessary at that point, and just honestly just kind of annoying. I kind of liked using gold points for buying little games on the eShop, either indie games that are discounted, or just sometimes random third-party games will be discounted for quite a lot. Or also DLC as well, the Mii Fighters for Smash Ultimate, as well as other little things that I just don't really feel paying for, because it's not really it's not really something that I just want to go out of my way to pay for. It's not it's at the level where I don't really care for it that much, but if I had a little bit of those gold points, then sure, I'll get it. But yeah, it's just really unfortunate that they're just kind of taking that away. It was a really nice little feature they had. They also had a thing where you'd get double the gold points if you get pre-orders, and I was a little skeptical of that because it was only for digital pre-orders, and I really highly prefer physical media over digital. So I didn't really participate in that, aside from a couple occasions. But yeah, it just really sucks that they're taking this thing away from people. And it's kind of confusing too, because it seems like Nintendo has been kind of pushing a thing through a lot of their kind of investor meetings over the past few years, with the fact that the Nintendo account is going to keep growing. They're going to keep adding things to it. They never really said anything about they're going to take away abilities, or never really hinted towards that. They've kind of built up a reputation of kind of slowly building up a kind of a, I guess a status quo for what you'd expect for the Switch era. You have the My Nintendo, or I think Nintendo Switch Online, I didn't mean My Nintendo, but Nintendo Switch Online app that you use the My Nintendo Platinum points on icons and different things. You'd have the My Nintendo physical rewards as well, and then you'd use the gold points either from getting them from games and then redeeming them and stuff in the eShop, and just all the NSO benefits you'd get, the cloud save data, the game, the retro games. It really seems like they were kind of creating a an ecosystem out of this. So it seems really weird that they're kind of disrupting that. And yeah, I know it might be because of the Switch 2, and it does make sense that they are making some major changes for the Switch 2 in some ways, because it is a new console. But at the same time, they really don't have to get rid of this stuff. They really could have continued to do it on the Switch 2. They might be doing this because they have some kind of replacement. I really hope they do have some kind of replacement. But at that point, why not just kind of add new things onto it, or kind of like add more onto the gold point system? I don't know, it just seems kind of weird. Another reason I could see why they might be overhauling the My Nintendo system is because, like throughout half of the Switch era, the My Nintendo thing was, like, really weird. Like, they didn't have, like, any physical rewards. It was basically just Club Nintendo, but worse. Well, I guess you could technically still say it's Club Nintendo, but worse, because the physical rewards are nowhere near as good as Club Nintendo. But, like, throughout half of the Switch era, it still seemed to be, like, heavily linked to the Wii U and 3DS. Like, My Nintendo is, like, despite being kind of created towards the end of the Wii U and 3DS era, I guess technically the midpoint of the 3DS era, like, it's kind of, like, inherently kind of built off of that, like, infrastructure, kind of. It kind of seems to be tied to that a little bit, because they only recently got rid of, like, only, like, a couple years ago, they got rid of, like, the Wii U and 3DS stuff on it, which was just really strange that it was on there for that long. So they might be overhauling how My Nintendo works, like, going into the Switch 2, and might be doing something different with that. But it, like, that's kind of where I'm kind of seeing it, like, from Nintendo's perspective. That might be what they're doing, but at the same time, like, their system has already been, like, pretty solid throughout the Switch era with the gold points and the platinum points, and I don't really see any reason why they should change it at all. I mean, they haven't really said anything about the platinum points, so I think it's safe to assume that they're going to keep them for now, but it's still disrupting the flow that they've had before, which is really weird. Like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I don't think there's any reason why they should have changed the gold points. It really should have just added on to it. So I just think it's really weird. And I've seen some people say that, like, that this doesn't matter because, like, gold points are useless and they've never had a use for gold points before. And just because you personally don't have any use for gold points doesn't mean that other people use them. Like, a lot of people like to use these for saving towards games or, like, buying little games. Like I was mentioning earlier, like, it's a really cool way to, like, buy, like, either indie games or different things if they're, like, on sale for, like, really cheap. It's just, like, a really fun little thing to have, and, like, just because you personally don't really benefit from it, like, either if you don't really buy games that often, or you don't really see a need to buy, like, certain, like, little games like that, I mean, that's perfectly fine, but, like, other people definitely, like, have a right to feel really disappointed about the discontinuation of this service. So, yeah, I know it's, like, been a little, funny that I've covered, like, some, disappointing kind of negative topics lately, like the eShop's AI slop issue. I'm sorry if I've been a little negative lately with those topics. It's just because it's kind of like a coincidence. Sometimes Nintendo just does something random out of the blue. It's just kind of weird. Like, we're kind of going into, like, a transitional era for the Switch, so there's gonna be, like, a lot of ups and downs. So, yeah, anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more, and make sure to check out my Discord server and Blue Sky if you want to. Stay perky!